I'll start with this. We hope, but we never expect. If history has taught us anything, it is exactly that. But I'll say it again. You sense times are changing. This is uncharted territory that we're in with England right now. I've heard talkSPORT pundits on this station. They called it a calamity if we lost to Ukraine. Well, you can only beat those that are in front of you. And didn't we beat Ukraine last night? We didn't beat them, we battered them. Powerful, creative, clinical, a group from different backgrounds that represent exactly what this country should be about, can be about, characters, leaders. We've got it by the bucket load. And again, Gareth Southgate, David James, he just got it right last night, not just personnel-wise, not system-wise, but the tone that Southgate has set from minute one, the environment that he's created from minute one. I'm so proud to call him the England boss.
Yeah, and I think with Gareth, I mean, we're talking about this current year as obviously the relative success of the World Cup, but this is a pathway which started back in the under-21s. You know, Gareth, when he went to his first European Championship with the under-21s, he experimented with the team hotel and the setup, allowing the players a bit of freedom, using all his experience as a player and what it was like to be in that environment. And that was a successful failure. In the sense that England in the under-21 Euros were nothing knocked out in the groups at the time. Harry Kane was involved in that. It was one of, I was again championing England. They're going to do it, and it failed. So he's learned from his own mistakes from his own judgments as a manager. And what you see in the way that he talks about the team, even in his interviews today, talking about the players who haven't played and bringing them to the attention of us, the fans and public. I mean, it's not just a team thing, it's not just a squad thing. We're talking about the whole of the England setup, including social media and people like that. Everyone's involved in this. And us as fans, I think, feel connected to it rather than they're just the team representing us. And I think it's amazing.
You know, he's ambassadorial, isn't he? He's very statesman-like, which is great. But we all know that he talks very well and he's a very decent human being as well. You know, he's created the right culture in that group and culture which he's interested in the younger age groups, whereas previous managers, you can understand why weren't, because they just wanted, so it's about results, for the senior team. So he's encompassed and developed all of that. But we all know at the end of the day, he's going to get judged on if England win or if England lose, right? So coming into this tournament, I was a bit worried about he might be too cautious because of the talent that we've got at our disposal. But you have to say, all the way through, he's got every decision right, every single one, because of where we are. And the thing that I found more exciting about it, see, there's a lot of people getting carried away as well, I think, because it's 4-0. It's 4-0 and we've battered them. As David said there was a little period we got a bit sloppy, and Gareth Southgate said himself, Kyle Walker's little sloppy back pass where Yaremchuk goes through. There was a situation in the second half where we didn't have a centre half around within 10 yards of the player that run through, and Jordan Pickford had to come out, didn't he, and sort of slice it. So I think that was for how good this group of players are and the pressure that they've handled, which was a massive pressure game yesterday because expectancy. There was more pressure in that game than there was in the game against Germany because of the expectancy. Totally. Everybody expects you to go through. So they handled it really, really well without any shadow of a doubt. But I think that was a 7 out of 10 performance. And the good thing about that is, with that team has another 20-25% in them. So you don't want to be peaking in the quarterfinals. There's more to come. I still look at that team and think there's more to come.
But Perry, I mean, it's a wonderful thing. There's some TV presenter guy put something on Twitter saying, have we peaked too early? You can only play the game that you've got to play. Yeah, and if absolutely. The 4-0 result was a great result, we could have some really rubbish performances, but enough to win the next two games. And therefore, the peak was actually last night in performance levels. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But winning the tournament doesn't mean that you have to play the best football. You just have to win the game. And that's what I've loved about the first three games in the group, and even the Germany game to a degree, because for 70-odd minutes, it's like 0-0, so balanced. Super sub comes on, changes the game, we win 2-0, we're in euphoria. Do you know what I mean? It's just about that 90 minutes, hopefully. Not extra time to go, so extra time has to be done.
Also, there seems to be, I don't know if you feel the same when you're watching, it's not scratchy performances. It's not, are we going to eke our way through this?
It's controlled.
Yes,
it's controlled.
You could tell with the players as well. Even changing all the systems, which is done. No one saw us before, because our strength is going forward. No one saw us having 5 clean sheets before this started on the spin. Nobody did, because everybody said, well, I fancy him in midfield and attacking, but I'm not sure about the back. So whether he's changed it from the 3 to the back 4. And I look at the back 4 yesterday, Walker, Stones, Maguire and Shaw, and even Jordan Pickford. All of those players at a certain time have gone through a difficult time in their careers on the pitch and off the pitch. And I think what Gareth Southgate is installed is like a trust, and he cares about them not just as the footballer, he actually cares about them as the person. And I think there's probably more communication between Southgate and these players. Even if they're out of the squad and out of the pitch, I think he still talks to them.